is to recommend approval of the redevelopment plan for the proposed Foster Eaton's Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Project area. Recommend designation of the area as a tax increment financing redevelopment project area, and recommend adoption of tax increment financing for the area. With that, I will now recess the regular commission meeting and open the public hearing on this matter. Ryan Slattery will present the staff report on behalf of the Department of Planning and Development. Mr. Slattery will make his presentation.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Newsom. Good afternoon, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Ryan Slattery. I'm with the Department of Planning and Development. This afternoon, I'm here to present the proposed Foster Eaton's Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Project area. Also available today for respond to any questions or comments is Mike Lobby from Lobby Consulting Group, the consultant that retained to assist with the TIF destination. The request before you today is to approve the redevelopment plan, designate the area as a redevelopment project area, and adopt the tax incremental financing for the area. The proposed Foster Eaton's redevelopment project area is generally bounded by the North Branch Chicago Road to the north, Pulaski Road to the east, Lawrence and Foster Avenues to the south, and Cicero and the Eden's Expressway to the west. The proposed TIF district is outlined in red. The area encompasses Conference Park, the former Sunstar site, and the Lawrence and Ellison Avenue commercial corridors. Surrounding the proposed TIF area are also residential homes, schools, and senior living. The purpose of the designation is to redevelop a vacant site on Foster Avenue, encourage redevelopment of aging commercial structures along Elston and Lawrence Avenue, and improve Gompers Park, which is in need of significant repairs of fieldhouse, fields, and courts. The Foster Eaton's redevelopment project area is located within the 39th Ward. The goals and objectives of the redevelopment plan are to encourage productive use of underutilized and vacant properties, to stimulate private investment, to restore existing parkland and facilities, and to improve public infrastructure within the redevelopment project area. Accomplishing these goals and objectives will reduce the conditions that qualify the area as a blighted area. The proposed land uses, which are consistent with existing uses, are primarily commercial, mixed use, industrial, residential, and parks and open space. In July and August of 2017, an eligibility study was performed in order to determine whether the proposed project area was eligible for designation of a conservation area and/or a blighted area in accordance with the requirements of the TIF Act. The analysis concluded that the improved parcels within the project area qualified as a blighted area. In order to be considered an improved blighted area, the area must exhibit 5 or more of the 13 eligibility factors. The factors listed here are found to be present within the proposed area. For the vacant parcels of the project area, the area also qualifies as blighted. In order to be considered a vacant blighted area, the area must exhibit 1 or more of the 7 eligibility factors. The factors listed here were found to be present within the proposed area. The following slides are examples of these conditions that occur there. Here we have deterioration. These pictures are showcasing cracked sidewalks and streets. Having residential buildings adjacent to auto body shops showcases deleterious land use and the lack of community planning. Here we have excessive vacancies. And then for the vacant parcels, there are photos showcasing environmental cleanup and unused disposal site. As part of the plan, an estimated budget is created. The budget is a projection of how much increment will be generated over the 23-year life of the TIF, as well as whether the TIF increment can be spent on. But the project area is estimated to generate $68.3 million during the 23-year period. The eligible expenses categories are determined by the TIF Act and are universal to all TIF districts throughout the state. Although the eligibility expenses categories and overall amount can be changed, the TIF Act allows for adjustments among these categories without amending the plan. As required by the Illinois TIF Increment Redevelopment Act, notices regarding the proposed designation at today's meeting were published in the Chicago Sun-Times and mailed to all residential areas within the proposed project area.
I sure do. Thank you so much, Madam Chairman, and thank you, Ryan, for your presentation. I'm here today in support of the proposed tax increment financing designation, plan and budget for the area described as the Foster Eaton's TIF. The Department of Planning sent notices dated September 12th for the public meeting that was held at 17th District Police Station on September 28th. And as Ryan noted, there were well over 100 attendees. The area includes vacant parcels, part of the Weber Spur, and abandoned rail line that will hopefully become a Rails to Trails project, Gompers Park, and LaBaugh Woods, aging commercial properties along Lawrence, Elston, Cicero, and a small industrial corridor on Kimberly. Let me give you a little background about the neighborhood. A few years ago, I actually commissioned a study that brought together local residents, small businesses, and our Chamber of Commerce to identify community needs and desires. The study, Mayfair Alive, cited the need for more retail in the neighborhood.
Thank you. My name is Nicole Foster. I've lived in North Mayfair, a historic bungalow community, for over 13 years. I'm also a member of our Civic Council, the North Mayfair Improvement Association, and a founding member of our Palmer Elementary 501c3. North Mayfair surrounds the developer's planned site location on Foster in 1994. Our community was first told of the developer's plans in a late September public share-out of the final design. That was also the first time we citizens had a clue that a new TIF was going to help fund this private development. Citizen concerns and issues were raised in the developer's presentation without a reaction or a response to address them. There has been no transparency or involvement in the community in this planned Eden's Collections development, or the TIF, which will fund it. If public funds generated from our tax dollars are going to be used for a private development, then the citizens must have a voice in this. The use of these TIF dollars would need to demonstrate a clear public benefit to our community. We have questions about traffic pouring off of 9094 that currently cannot turn left into our community, about public safety for bikers with our new North Branch Bike Trail terminus, and having green spaces and gathering spaces for the community in the private development, along with architectural designs reflecting the community, among many other questions that were raised during the first and only public forum held with the developer or about the TIF. We as concerned citizens of the 39th Ward are simply asking the council today to delay the vote of the Eden's Foster TIF for 3 months until the community's questions and concerns about the proposed TIF and any related developments are sufficiently addressed in public forums. We believe that if the TIF is good for this community, that it will only become clearer with more thoughtful, responsive dialogue between the people who live there, the developers, and the public officials. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. or Ms. Alex Burke?
Berkey.
Berkey.
Yes, thank you. Hello, my name is Alex Berkey, and I'm a resident of the North Mayfair neighborhood for the last 7 years. I'm also a founding member and serve as the current president for the Friends of Palmer, a fundraising and advocacy group working on behalf of our local elementary school. I'm here today as a concerned resident of the city of Chicago, the 39th Ward, and a parent of 3 children in the Chicago public school system. While I support growth, development, and increased value in our community, I question the creation of a new Foster Edens TIF district to fund the Edens Collection development project. Theoretically, the funds generated by TIFs are supposed to build quality of life and business in TIF districts defined by blight and abandonment. Yet the Foster Edens TIF excludes a property that needs the most help in our area, Palmer Elementary School. The quality of our schools is a key factor in the success of our communities. Palmer's students, teachers, staff, and parents have worked hard and are making great achievements, resulting in a level 1+ rating, numerous awards, and recognition. But Palmer's physical spaces are currently in an extreme state of disrepair, with many needs, including an extensive renovation to the aging main building, the need for an addition to support our fast-growing student population, technology upgrades, and a safe and suitable place to play outdoors. All across the city, grade schools just like Palmer are struggling to provide a quality education with fewer and fewer resources, challenged to provide even the most basic equipment and supplies for day-to-day operation. Not a day goes by that we don't hear about disastrous budget cuts to our schools, staff and teacher layoffs, and needs that go unmet. According to projections presented to us in September, the TIF will divert about $68 million away from things like schools and libraries over 23 years and into a separate fund. It means our tax dollars will not be used to improve our schools, and because Palmer is not included in the TIF boundaries, it will not be used to help our own neighborhood school desperately in need. The plan for the TIF district and that of the Edens Collection Development Project was first presented to us on September 28th with no prior input or feedback. Many in the 39th Ward, like myself, do not feel we've been given enough information to determine how this TIF will impact us and are asking for time to engage with key participants so we can better understand the benefits to our community. As an engaged and active citizen, I ask that you delay approval of this proposed TIF and provide us with an opportunity to learn more and have our questions answered. We request a delay of 3 months, giving Alderman Loreno, Jaffe Development, and all concerned parties an opportunity to come together to discuss this project in more detail. These are our property taxes being used for a private development. These are also our schools, our parks, and our homes, and our community, and we have every right to be concerned. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. My name is Michelle Warbeck, and I'm a resident of North Mayfair. My 3 children attend Palmer Elementary. I'm concerned about the proposed Foster Eden TIF district, and I would like to ask for more time for the residents of the neighborhood and the 39th Ward to research and assess the pros and cons of this TIF. We like and appreciate businesses coming into this area, yet we wonder why a TIF should be formed to fund the Edens Collection. TIFs are supposed to attract development to blighted, abandoned areas. Yet our zip code is an economically stable Tier 4 CPS neighborhood, and Foster Cicero is an ideal retail spot. In fact, Seafood City, the national grocery chain, opened one of its first national locations on the adjoining property without a TIF, and it's mobbed every day from opening till 10 p.m. The location offers expressway access from north and south. It is located close to several affluent, stable, and safe neighborhoods full of consumers: Forest Glen, Mayfair, North Mayfair, North Park, Saguenash, Edgebrook, and others. The 9-acre property was just recently cleared in 2016 and has not been abandoned. It is still owned by Sunstar, and as we understand it, Jaffe became interested in the property even before the land was fully cleared of the previous Sunstar building. We'd like to better understand the rationale for establishing a TIF here, because the cost of the TIF is high, and its need and plans for use are not clear. Over 23 years, a Foster Edens TIF would redirect a projected $68 million in tax money. We know this TIF would channel $34 million away from our schools alone. The other $30 million would not go for the other things our tax dollars fund, like libraries, city services, public park improvements, and water quality. Instead, as we understand it, it would be awarded to developers that the alderman decides to award it to for the next 23 years. That's a lot of money, and we didn't hear a good overall vision. What is the business vision for this area? How would this money be spent? How would decisions be made about who would get TIF money? And what type of reporting would be provided to the citizens? We would like and deserve these answers. In September, no one knew that a TIF was in the works, so this was a surprise announcement for most of us. We're concerned that a project that would greatly affect our quality of life would also divert millions of public dollars to a developer who has not made clear a sense of public benefit for the project. And we're concerned that it's being rushed without ample time for understanding and for questions from the community. So we ask that you delay your vote today on the proposed TIF for 3 months so that we can learn more and have our questions answered in a public forum. This is our community and our future, and we have every right to be concerned. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. I will call the next 3 speakers. Helen Murray,